Alright, in this video we're gonna try to learn a new concept. It's called significant figures. Alright, so for any number, okay, we've said that sometimes, or any measurement number, I'm sorry. For any measurement number, okay, for instance, there's a difference between, let's say, when I read a number that's 3.10 centimeter versus 3.100 centimeter. As in the first number, we can tell that the estimate digits is at 100 centimeter, whereas the second number, the estimate digits at 1000 centimeter, which means the second number is 10 times more accurate than the first number. So the zero at the end of these two numbers, even though they are not representing any values, but they are meaningful. So we call any digits that you cannot ignore, including 3 and 1, 0 here, are significant figures. For any measured number, okay, we are counting significant figures. Some other calculated numbers we are counting significant figures as well. So here's what we're going to learn about how do we count the number of significant figures for any given number. First of all, if you have any non-zero digits, then they are always significant. For instance, if I have number 1234, okay, so this number has 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 significant figures. Okay, now usually the confusion comes from the zeros. So there are three types of zeros. Okay, first of all, the zeros in front of the non-zero digits, so-called leading zeros. For instance, 0.1, 2, 3, 4. Now this zero, the first zero, is just a space taker showing you where the decimal point is, so it's not significant. So again, this number has only 4 significant figures. Okay. Similar example will be given as this 0.0012. Like in this number, leading zeros are this one, and this one. So leading zeros could be in front of decimal point or could be behind decimal point, but as long as it's in the front of the first non-zero digit, then it's a leading zero. So leading zeros are never significant. So in this case, you still have 1, 2 significant figures. Let's look at another example, okay? 0.0001. So all these 4 zeros are not significant. They're just space takers showing you where the decimal point is. So this number looks very small, but it has only 1 significant figures. Okay, so this is a kind of a zero. Another kind of zero is not in the front, okay? It's actually between two non-zero digits, such as 1023. Okay, so we call this kind of zero captive zeros. So captive zeros are in between two non-zero digits, and this kind of zeros are always significant. So this number has 4 significant figures. Okay, the captive zeros could be in front or after the decimal point. For instance, if you have 10.23, so this number also has 4 significant figures. Or you can have a number such as 1.001. Now both these zeros are between 1 and 1, so they are also significant. So this number also has 4 significant figures. So let's look at another number here. If I have a number 0.01001, now you can see this number has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decimals. Okay. The first 2 zeros are not significant because they are leading zeros. The 1 is significant. The other one is also significant. 2 zeros between 2 ones are also significant. So this number has 5 decimals, but only 4 significant figures. Okay, so these are the captive zeros. There's another kind of zero. They are not in the front. They're not in between 2 non-zero digits. They are actually trailing zeros. Trailing zeros are the zeros after the last non-zero digits. Let's take a look at this one, okay? 150. Okay, this zero is a trailing zero, okay, and it's not significant. because there's no decimal point. So the trailing zeros, the rule is a little bit more complicated, okay? Now this 0 is not significant, so this number has 2 sig figs. But if I show you 1500, these two zeros are still not significant, okay? 2 sig figs. But if I show you 150 dot, okay, there's a decimal point here. Now, as long as you're showing the decimal point in the number, that makes the trailing zero significant. So now this number has 3 sig figs. I want you to compare this number versus the first number, 150, without dot. Now, very similarly, okay, you can imagine if we rewrite the second number 1500 as 1500 dot, now you have 1 to 5 and 2 trailing zeros with a decimal point. They are significant. Okay, so for trailing zeros, as long as you are showing a decimal point, then these zeros are significant. Let's take a look at another one, okay? If I have 150.00, now 1 to 5 obviously are significant figures. Now you have 3 trailing zeros. Okay, and there's a decimal point, so the decimal point makes all 3 trailing zeros significant. So this number is a number with 5 sig figs. Okay, depends on how many sig figs you want. You can add many zeros you want, showing you the decimal point. Okay, so basically there are 3 types of zeros. There are 3 types of zeros. All right, leading zeros are never significant. Okay, captive zeros are always significant, whereas trailing zeros, it depends. With no decimal point, they are not significant. With decimal point, they are significant. Okay, so let's take a look at another crazy example. Okay, I have a number look like this: 0.001000200. Now this number has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 decimals. Okay, how many of them are significant? You can pause here, okay, and count it and see when then come back to let's count together. Okay, so these three leading zeros are not significant. So they are not. 1 and 2 are significant. 1 and 2 are significant. Okay, 2 zeros in between are significant. 2 zeros in between are significant. Now these 2 zeros are trailing zeros. Okay, and because of decimal point, okay, that makes these 2 trailing zeros significant. So this number has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sig figs. Okay, again, trailing zeros are only significant when you have a decimal point anywhere in the number, or they're not significant without the decimal point. Okay, this is how you count sig figs.